10 JAMB Chemistry Likely questions you need to know before writing your next JAMB examination. Alright. My name is Chris Benj and I'm here to share with you 10 likely questions you will see in your JAMB Chemistry examination. Alright. Now join me as we drill these questions together. Now, question 1 states, which of the following is a monomer of polythene? I would like you to know this. What is the relationship between a monomer and a polymer? Alright. A monomer is a small and basic building block molecule which combines with other small, basic, similar molecules, alright, just like it, to form a complex or larger molecule called a polymer. Now you can see the link, right? Group of monomers form what? Polymers, alright. Hope you understand. Now you need to know that polythene itself is a polymer, alright, is a polymer, and polythene is also known as polyethylene, alright. So in case this question is being changed in your JAMB exam, don't let them confuse you, alright. Now you need to know that the correct answer to this question is ethene, or you can call it the other name, ethylene. Now there's something I want you to know. This is a potential JAMB chemistry question, alright. Whenever two or more monomers come together to form a polymer, it is called what? It is called polymerization. Polymerization is a process on its own, okay? That process whereby different monomers of similar characteristics come together, add each other to form what? A polymer. That process is called what? Polymerization, alright? Now, you need to know that for we to form polyethylene or polyethylene, we need to add up, we need to link up chains of ethene, that is chains of C2H4, alright, to get what? Polyethylene, alright. So hope this is helpful. Like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I remain Chris Bend. Now question 2, I'll be very fast, okay. So question 2 states, the branch of chemistry that deals with carbon and its compounds is termed what? That is, what is it called? So from this option, what is the correct answer? The correct answer here is organic chemistry. Question 3, a reaction in which several atoms, either in pairs or in groups, are removed from a molecule is called what? Now, from these options we have here, which of this option is the correct answer to this question? Now, you need to know that the correct answer to this question is elimination reaction, alright? Elimination reaction. Please note this, it's very, very important. You see how I'm telling you, note this, note this. You are going to see one of these in your chemistry JAMB examination. Question 4, the question states, what type of plastic is bakelite, alright? Now, you need to know that bakelite is a thermosetting plastic, alright. So the correct option here is thermosetting plastic. Over to the next question. Question 5, which of the following is used to test for unsaturation in an organic compound? Alright. Now, from the options given, you need to know that the correct answer here is Bayer's test, alright. Bayer's test. Now, you need to know that when you are testing for unsaturation, it means you are checking if there is a presence of double bond or triple bond in a organic compound, alright. That is, you are checking for the degree of unsaturation, alright, of that compound, alright. Just like we have the alkenes and the alkynes, alright. These are compounds that will show a certain degree of unsaturation when tested with the Bayer's test, alright. Instead of use the Bayer's test, there are different type of tests you can use to check for unsaturation. You can use the bromine water test as well, okay. Now there's something you need to know concerning this particular question, okay. Now you might not see Bayer's test, okay. Your examiner might test you by putting alkaline potassium permanganate test, okay, or they will put alkaline KMNO4 test, alright. Just know that these two things are the same thing as your Bayer's test, alright. They are just the other name for it, okay. Let me just put it like that, they're just the other name for it. So learn this, know how these questions are set, alright. You will see one of these in your JAMB chemistry examination. Question 6, the question states, the organic catalyst used for the hydrogenation of oil is called. Now emphasis on the primary what? Catalyst. Now emphasis on what? The primary catalyst, emphasis on that, alright. Now stay with me, I'm not going to leave this question unexplained, alright, and not completely demystified. I'm going to demystify this and I'm going to explain it to you, alright. You need to know that the correct answer to this first is what? Option C, which is nickel, alright. But let me explain it to you. Now you need to know that hydrogenation is the process of adding hydrogen to an unsaturated compound. What are these unsaturated compounds? They are the alkenes, they are the alkynes, alright. Now these are what unsaturated compounds. In the presence of what? Of a catalyst. So whenever you add hydrogen to an unsaturated compound in the presence of a catalyst, it is called what? Hydrogenation, alright. Now, what is that catalyst? Gong gong gong. Sorry. Sorry. Now, what is that catalyst? A catalyst is a substance that increases the rate of a chemical reaction without being used up or permanently changed at the end of the reaction. Alright. Now, this is just what a catalyst means. And recall, the question states the primary catalyst, that is the primary catalyst used for the hydrogenation of oil is called what? And me, Chris Ben, said the answer is nickel. Alright. Now, this is because in the industrial hydrogenation of oil, e.g., converting vegetable oil to margarine, finely divided nickel, alright, is commonly used as the primary catalyst to speed up that reaction, alright. Just like what I said, example of a type of reaction like this we're talking about is converting vegetable oil to margarine, alright. Now, a catalyst which you can use to speed up that reaction is nickel. Now, I would also like you to know that the reason why we use nickel as a catalyst in the hydrogenation of oil is because it is effective in high temperature, alright, and it is inexpensive. It increases the rate at which hydrogen add up in double bonds and triple bonds. You understand? Now, what really happens during hydrogenation of oil? So let's use vegetable oil and margarine as an example. You know vegetable oil contains double bond, which means it is what? Unsaturated. Unsaturated. Now, what's the work of this nickel? The work of the nickel is that it makes hydrogen add up to these carbon bonds, alright, and turn them to what? Saturated what? Compounds, alright. Now, turning into saturated compounds, it will now make this vegetable oil become what? Saturated. That is, it will now start to turn to a semi-solid substance which we call what? Margarine. Alright. Now, this process is called what? Hydrogenation. Alright. Remember the definition I gave for hydrogenation. So this process is called what? Hydrogenation. Now, you see how the vegetable oil turned from what? From being unsaturated to being what? Saturated under the influence of what? Nickel, which is the what? Catalyst. Alright. So this is how this process works. Hope this video is helpful. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Now, question 7 states, the fermentation of sugar produces what? Now, what is the correct answer to this question? Before we continue, what is fermentation? Alright. Now, you need to know that fermentation is a biological process whereby sugars, example glucose, are broken down by enzymes such as yeast or bacteria to produce alcohol like ethanol, that is C2H5OH, and carbon dioxide, that is CO2. Alright, and this happens in the absence of oxygen. Alright, now this is what fermentation means. Now, there's something I want you to point out from this question. I have indirectly said a likely chemistry question in this question I just gave now by explaining the meaning of fermentation. Now, when explaining the meaning of fermentation, at the end I said in the absence of what? Oxygen. This means fermentation is what? Is an anaerobic reaction. In case you are asked, you see as I came close to you before I said that. Alright, so make sure you note it down. Alright. So fermentation is what? Is an anaerobic what? Reaction. Alright. So the correct answer to this question is alcohol and carbon dioxide. Alright. Hope this is helpful. Question 8. The question states dehydration of alcohol gives what? Now, which of these options is the correct answer? Now, you need to know that dehydration of alcohol is a chemical what? Reaction in which an alcohol loses a molecule of water, alright, to form an alkene. Alright, to form an alkene. So the correct answer to this question is alkene. Alright, remember when they say something is dehydrated, it means that thing or that substance has lost what? Has lost water. Alright. Now, for a particular alcohol to be what dehydrated, it means the alcohol has lost a certain amount of what molecule of water. Alright. Now, whenever this happens, it happens to form what alkene. Alkene, Alkene. Alright. So the correct answer here is alkene. Question 9. Question 9 states, what is the molecular formula for benzene? Now, if you don't know this, I don't know what you have been reading so far. Okay. You need to know that the molecular formula for benzene is C6H6. Please note this, is very important. These are bonus questions you see in JAMB Chemistry examination. Alright, especially this one I just mentioned now. This number 9. Alright. Question 10. Now, take question 10 very serious. Alright. I remain Chris Bend. Alright, so you can search for my name on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my videos, and if you need private lectures from me, you can message me here on TikTok and get them, all right? And they are very affordable. Now, question 10. The question states, which of the following is not a natural polymer, all right? Which of the following is not a natural polymer? So in the options, we have cellulose, we have starch, we have protein, and we have polyethylene. Remember, polyethylene is same thing as what? Polyethylene. Alright. Now, which of these is not a natural, or you say a naturally occurring polymer? Remember, in my first video, I've explained the meaning of polymer and how it is gotten. Alright. Now, emphasis on natural polymer. Alright. Emphasis on this natural polymer. A natural polymer is a polymer that is gotten from living organisms. Alright. Living organisms. It is gotten from the monomers of living organisms. Alright. Now let's check the options one by one. Alright. Now cellulose is an example of a natural polymer because it is gotten from the cell wall of plants. Alright. Starch can be gotten from our rice, our cassava. So it is a what? Natural occurring polymer. Protein as well is a natural occurring polymer. Alright. Example, we have albumin. Alright. Albumin is gotten from animals. Alright. Now, I have made mention of three options that are natural polymers. It's very obvious that the correct answer here is what? Is option D. Now, the correct answer is what? Polyethylene. And you need to know that polyethylene is not a natural polymer because it is a substance that can be formed industrially. Alright. So polyethylene is not the answer. It is artificial, it is synthetic, it is man-made. Alright. So it is not a natural occurring polymer. Hope this video is helpful. Like, share, and subscribe for more. Alright. And if you need broader explanation on any topic, let me know in the comment section.